What's so funny?
He looks miserable. I feel so bad for him.
I'm exhausted right now, dude. And then I have a 2-hour flight at 11 o'clock. Like, give me a break. Like, suck my fucking cock.
Hey, at least you don't have to stop. What are you, in Charleston?
We're in Charlotte because it was quicker for us to fly out from Charlotte too. And we spent the day here, so it all worked out. Everything it ended up working out, but whatever.
It works out, but leaving at midnight's garbage, yeah.
Yes, exactly. I'm not going to sit here and complain, but...
All right, well, we've begun. So
right.
where would we like to start? Because there was a lot last week, I think. Christmas week.
I just can't believe the Patriots just keep doing this every week. It's like Groundhog Day with them.
Yeah, our big, what do we go, 1-2 on our combined, like, same pick 3?
It's honestly absurd that we went 1-2 because we deserve to win both the games we lost, and we should have lost the game that we won. Like, that made no sense.
Yeah,
like, the Steelers game, the Steelers had no business winning. They were out of it the whole time, and then they put one drive together at the end of the game. And then, like, New England's down 22-0. They have no prayer, and then Joe Burrow decides to throw a pitch 6, and then all of a sudden, they're down 4 with a chance to win it on a touchdown, and then Ramondre Stevenson decides to fumble. Like, nice. That's great.
But then you still get the ball left with like 40-something seconds left, so it's like, all right, what can we do? Not much.
They were never doing anything with that.
They're never scoring in that situation.
It was funny too when I was watching it and they got close. I was like, they're gonna find a way to fuck this up. And like I fucking said that, they fuck it up. And I was like so pissed.
So of course I'm also sitting there like while they have 40 seconds left. I'm like, you know what? They blew it on the dumbest play ever on the game last week, or the last play of the game last week, and lost it. I was like, maybe they'll win it on the last play this week.
It would have been such a good comeback too. Like, it would have been insane. Like, it would have been just what Sal talks about when it was like we're on to Cincinnati. Like, that would have been the win.
I just wanted to cover, man. All I had was Pats -3 and the Steelers money line. That's all. That's all I needed.
So here's the thing with that game. It's like they did not deserve to win that game or even cover that game whatsoever.
No, they did not.
So sitting here and being like, oh, well, you know, if he doesn't fumble, like, whatever. It's like, okay, well, Joe Burrow also threw a dumb pick 6. They throw a Hail Mary that gets batted and they score a touchdown. Like, they had absolutely no business being involved in that game, and yet somehow Vegas sets the perfect line, and that's -3, and the Patriots lose by 4. Like,
Vegas, man.
Vegas was on some shit this week. They had their lines perfectly set. And, like, normally they always do, but this week I was like, bravo. Like, you guys knew exactly what you're doing.
What was another one? The Vikings was like 4.5, right, with the Giants? And
the Vikings they won
by
3. 4.5, and they won by 3. And then the Eagles was -5, and the Cowboys pull off not a last second, but they take a field goal to go up 6 with a minute left after a fumble. Like, how do they do it? How do they know? Like, where
the Cowboys game was a really good game. Like, that was so back and forth. Like,
do you guys know that the Eagles never punted in that game and they didn't cover the spread? I don't think that's ever been done.
That's insane.
That's a crazy stat.
That's insane.
That is insanity. And Gardner played a lot better than I think people thought he would have.
Gardner's fine. He's a good quarterback. He's a guy, you know, as long as he's not playing with like the worst roster ever, you plug him in there with a decent offensive scheme, I think he's gonna be decently successful.
What happened to that Eagles defense that everyone said was, you know, top 3 or 5 in the league? Like, they looked like Swiss cheese. Also, they had a bit, but it was like every drive was in 3rd and 30, and you let T.Y. Hilton get behind you. What are you doing?
That's true. That is very true.
I was not impressed with them whatsoever.
I don't know, just a weird away game, I guess.
Yeah, what, do you want to just call it like a fluke win for Dallas, or is Dallas actually serious, do you think?
Dallas is almost serious.
Yeah, fluke win seems too strong. I think that, so like, who comes out of the NFC realistically? It's Dallas, Philly, or San Fran. I don't see Minnesota, and I don't see any of these other, like, I don't see the Giants or anyone like that doing it. Definitely not Tampa Bay, even though you guys are hyping up Tampa Bay to somehow get there.
Well, I just think that's a sneaky hard game for the Cowboys to go play down in Tampa.
Yes, I mean,
they
beat. Who won the first game of the season? Was it the Cowboys? No, Tampa beat them. Tampa killed them.
Tampa, yeah.
So I don't know. You're probably right, but at the same token, it's like Dallas's team is just way better than Tampa Bay is. Like if they play, it's probably like a touchdown. Like Dallas wins by a touchdown of 10 points in my mind, but that's why I play the Jams.
I mean, if I had to realistically look at it going into the postseason, and let's just say, maybe the Bucs win these last 2 weeks, but again, they don't have that 1 week where they finally look good. It would be really hard to take the Bucs against the Cowboys in that game because you've seen the Cowboys play very good football in the past, 6-7 weeks, and you haven't seen the Bucs play good football once in the last 6-7 weeks.
The spread doesn't matter in all seriousness, but at the same time, how do you not cover 7 points against Trace McSorley? Like that's a little concerning.
That's rough, dude.
I mean, I can't even remember the last time I saw the Bucs play good.
I can't remember the last time I've seen the Bucs cover a spread. Like, name me the last time they've covered a spread.
When's the last? I haven't seen them score over 25 points in a game since God knows when.
Their offense is horrendous.
Dude. I mean, obviously it's the other components too, but their O-line is just horrible.
Yeah, they lost another Jensen, and like hell froze over, dude. Like they just absolutely crumbled after that, and it was insane how like one guy can just like glue everybody together. It's good, Eric.
Well, he's coming back in the next 21 days. They activated him off of IR, so he has to come back within 3 weeks. So, I mean, if he gets there for
a playoff run, Sal?
Just in time for a playoff run, so that's a little funny. We'll see about that one.
That gets me a little horny, I'm not going to lie.
We'll see. I mean, the team I really want to talk about is San Fran, because that was an ass-kicking of Washington, and Antonio really liked Washington in that game.
I did. Good thing they weren't a pick 3.
No, I know. I'm not saying it. Like, I understood like why you liked Washington. The San Fran team is just different right now. Like, they're actually like moving the ball way more efficiently. And then what? The defense is just
it's easily the best in football.
Yeah, like literally. Like, and not like it came out of nowhere, but for like 10 weeks now, probably they've been just amazing. And D'Amico Ryans is a great coordinator.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time saying anybody else in the NFC is going to go to the Super Bowl right now because that team is just, to me, they've really looked like the best team in football since they've been on this winning streak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
NFC is crazy, man. I mean, so now the playoff pictures what? Are the Packers getting in? Like,
does this? Yeah. The only thing
I've been looking forward to that conversation.
going back to the San Fran thing is like, so this literally just proves that Jimmy Garoppolo is a stick.
Well, it kind of does. Well, that proves Trey Lance is a stick too. He only got 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean Trey Lance was a stick, and Jimmy Garoppolo was just a stick in a stick's body. Like he like any quarterback can go in there and they can have a winning record and win the division.
Yeah, honestly.
So like it's like okay, they're realizing that now. They did that with Nick Mullins a couple years ago. Like I don't understand why they just think they need the superstar quarterback.
They just have this abstract way about their offense to where it doesn't exactly look like anybody else's in the league, but it really doesn't. It's nothing like any of these high flying offenses that
it's
are like
such a good like unit. It's such a good unit.
Right. It's very scripted.
And that's good because like when Jimmy Garoppolo like really went down, everyone was like, oh, it's done. Like they're done. They're not going to make the playoffs. Like because at that point they were still like fighting for a playoff spot, weren't they?
Yeah, they definitely were.
And then after that, they just took off with it. So I mean,
Purdy's the man. I like Purdy. I think Purdy's really good.
And when you look at
really good's a lot, but like he's very serviceable. He knows what he's doing back there.
Well, right. If you look at him and the offense compared to when Jimmy was there, like, does the look of the offense really seem that different? No, they're still going. They're still really going about it the way it's been.
No, I feel like they're more explosive with Purdy. And like they actually make big plays, whereas Jimmy, it's like he only throws a check down. Like Jimmy Garoppolo loves a 4-yard.
I've seen this guy throw 1 or 2 passes.
Jimmy Garoppolo loves a Christian McCaffrey check down.
Oh my god! Or like a 4-yard Brandon Ayuk pass. Like he lives for that. Like that's his favorite thing. But
yeah.
So all right. So talk to me about the wild card right now. So Green Bay can get in. Detroit can get in. They're putting Washington can, and they're putting Carson Wentz back in. What are they doing?
They're throwing. That's a throw.
Why though?
It makes no sense.
They did all this work to get in the playoff picture, and now they're like Carson Wentz after Heineke brought them all the way here. How does that make any sense?
I think that's on Ron Rivera if they don't get in because of that.
They played Cleveland this week too. That's like the worst game ever.
Bro, he hates Carson Wentz. It doesn't make any sense. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, there was a press conference this year as well where he said, like, he was asked about it, and he just said Heineke's better.
Right? Yeah, and he was like, what's your issue? And he said quarterback. And ever since then, they put in Taylor Heineke, and they went on this win streak, and they're actually in the playoffs. Nobody thought they were going to be in the playoffs at the beginning of the year. They looked bad.
Would his argument be Taylor Heineke interceptions, or like what? Is Carson Wentz going to be that different?
No, my thing is, it's like, what was Ron Rivera's like breaking point? He looked bad against San Francisco's best defense in the league. It's like any quarterback's going to look bad against them. Like, I don't really know who they played the week before. They played the Giants. They looked not great, but it's not like they looked terrible or they got blown out or anything. So what? Carson Wentz comes back and you're like, oh, well, he's going to solve all our problems. Like, what?
This just opens the door for Seattle and for Detroit and for Green Bay because, like, if they go out and lose that game to Cleveland, like, that puts them in a terrible spot because Seattle's playing the Jets, which, you know, that'll probably be a really good game. But if they end up winning that, then they're in a really good spot. Who's Detroit playing this week? Is Detroit?
The Bears.
Detroit's playing the Bears. They're fucking awful. Green Bay is, let me look. Green Bay is playing Minnesota. They probably lose that. So realistically, you have Detroit and Seattle just nipping at your heels. Why would you change it now?
You need a spark? Like, does he think that they're dead at this point? Like,
wouldn't that interrupt the flow of the offense? Wouldn't what everybody's been getting used to?
Wouldn't the spark being Chase Young coming back?
I'm trying to rationalize it too. I really don't understand the move back to Wentz unless he doesn't watch football and thinks Wentz is that much better of a quarterback than Heineke is, which doesn't seem apparent, but I don't really know.
I just don't know, man.
Unless this is setting up for a Carson Wentz versus Eagles revenge playoff game, and we're just not seeing that.
God, I hope not.
I mean, so I'm seeing like NBC Sports Commanders, they tweeted like they tweeted an article that said why the Commanders believe Carson Wentz will be the spark they really need. So I guess that is what it is. It's the spark.
Well, as soon as I saw it, I was like, Nolan's going to hate this. And obviously you hate it, but I'm just
I hate it. I hate it so much, dude.
I'm just if I'm a Washington fan, I'd be pretty upset. It's like Heineke's done this for us for the last 10 weeks. Why are we switching it? Like, why are we going back to what wasn't worked at the beginning of the season? We're gonna try. It's like watching something that doesn't work and then like figuring out an answer to it and then just being like, oh, let's go back to like what didn't work before. Like that doesn't make any sense.
If you're Heineke too, I mean, it's got to feel like your heart just got ripped out.
I'm pissed at Heineke, dude.
Well,
like, what is wrong with me?
That's my whole point. He had one bad game against the best defense in the league, and he gets pulled after that. Like how? Like your leash is not that tight, or your leash is not that. You don't have that much rope. If that's
like
what the bar
obviously
is.
He's more of the locker room guy. Like they all like him. Nobody likes Carson Wentz, dude.
I don't know.
He doesn't want to be there. That's the whole reason why everyone hates him. He just doesn't seem committed, and that's been the MO on him since he left the Eagles. It's like he doesn't like football.
So I think we did this last week. Who's our pick now for this last wild card spot? Does the Giants seem like they're in at this point?
I think it's between Seattle and Detroit right now.
Yeah, and Seattle's plays two pretty easy teams.
If they win this week, then it's definitely them because they play the Rams the last game of the season.
And they're chucked.
And the Rams aren't going to be motivated to win that game.
Oh my God, I'm not taking Washington, and I don't know. Like, this Green Bay thing isn't real? They're just trying to rope me back in, right?
No, I think this is where it ends this week. I mean, if they win this week, it tickles. But
I think everybody's gonna get on this whole like Green Bay thing again. And Sal, I'm tempted to, because Aaron's starting to look like he's connecting with these receivers really well right now, and maybe they got something to look forward to next year. But you know what? If it comes to it, everybody's going to expect Green Bay to win this week because everybody's going to be like, oh, they're just going to win out and go to the playoffs. I think it'll end.
You know what's funny, though, is remember when Sal had the lock of the year, the lock of the century, and it was the Green Bay, and he said they're going to tickle you.
I thought they were free, too.
Since that game.
I thought they were the freest game ever. That's true, Sal.
Since that game.
I literally have to go and see right now. I don't think they've lost since that Titans game happened.
We said they were done after that Vikings game or after that Titans game. But before the Titans game, we were like, they're going to win this game. And then people are going to be like, hey, Green Bay.
Hey.
No, they lost to Philly, too. I thought they've won out. No, they beat Chicago, the Rams, and Miami. That doesn't really inspire me too much confidence, to be perfectly honest with you.
So, so who do you think? Do you think it's Seattle that comes out?
Seattle, Detroit. I don't know who's got the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I was going to say Detroit. Well, no. Seattle has it because Seattle beat Detroit head-to-head.
Yeah, it was that weird,
I was going to say they did play, right?
Wasn't like a 38-34.
Oh, shit.
No,
that was one of the first games this season.
It was 51-48, like week 3.
That's
51-48
right.
was
It was a college game.
I forgot. That was one of the craziest games. That was one of the games where people were like, these two teams?
Yeah. Yeah. And they ended up having a barn burner.
I don't know that I think Seattle's going to win this week, so I think I'm going to take Detroit. I think that's my pick right now.
He loves the Jets. Look at him. He loves the Jets.
I kind of like the Jets this week. I won't lie.
Yeah, me too. I'm leaning.
I think this is going to be a really good game.
I'm leaning Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit's my pick right now, but I wouldn't be shocked if Green Bay got in. But I don't want to be. I don't want the rug pulled on me again. I'm tired of that, so I'm saying Detroit right now.
Well, who owns the tiebreaker over Green Bay if it's Seattle, Green Bay, or Detroit, Green Bay? Doesn't Detroit have the tiebreaker over Green Bay?
Well, that's to be determined because if they play Week 17, so if the Packers
Green
win,
Bay and Detroit play the last week of the year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
fairly. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
God, listen, that's gonna be to get in.
Yeah, no, and that's why it's like I don't want to get pulled back in, but they might pull me back.
That's why the Jets. That's why the Jets are winning.
Here's what's gonna happen. Jets are gonna win this week. They're gonna beat Seattle. The Packers are losing this week, and the Lions are winning this week. And then, then Seattle will get in. Seattle has a tiebreaker, right?
Yeah, Seattle's a tiebreaker.
No, Seattle has to lose this week. They have to.
Right. So the spread of that game, the spread of that game opened at like Seattle -1.5, and then they tweeted out that Zach Wilson's out, like inactive for Sunday's game, and then it immediately went to Jets -2.5. I was like, that's hilarious.
Is it going to be Mike White again, or is it going to be Flacco?
It's either way. It's better than Zach Wilson.
So wait, if it's Joe Flacco, that'd be such a full circle moment.
I don't think it's going. I think at this point, Mike White has to be cleared because he wanted to play the first week, and then they didn't play him for the Thursday night game. So now he has another 10 days to get ready. I feel like he has to be in at this point.
I don't know. How long does a broken rib take to heal?
Well,
or to get you ready for contact at least. If he plays, he's getting hurt, and then Joe Flacco's coming in.
Ew.
No, but then they win, Sal. It'd be such a full circle moment.
If they win with Joe Flacco coming in like after, that would be crazy.
Everything's gonna ride on what happens in this Minnesota and Green Bay game. If Green Bay can pull off this win against Minnesota, whoa. Ooh.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy too is the Jets are not. It's not like the Jets are checked out. Like they still could get in.
They're not checked out. They have as good a chance as the Patriots.
The Jets are not dead by any means. This is a huge game for them this weekend.
Wow, this week and next week are going to be crazy.
That Miami loss was so big for the Jets, it wasn't even funny. Like, they needed that. So, who's the 7th seed in the East, or who's the 7th seed in the AFC right now?
The Dolphins.
Okay, that makes sense, actually. Wait, no, that's not right.
7, 8, and 9 are all AFC East teams.
So, it's... Hold on.
It's Ravens, Chargers, Dolphins. The fucking Ravens.
Ravens, Chargers. Oh, yes. Okay, that does make sense. Okay. Yeah, that's gross. That's really gross.
Yeah. And the fact that they're still one game behind the Bengals, too, is so gross.
Chargers looked bad, and then all of a sudden they clinched a playoff spot. It's like, okay.
Hey, dude, I definitely thought the Chargers would get in.
I did, but I was like a little skeptical with how bad they were looking after that San Fran, and they had another primetime game after that too. Oh, against the Chiefs when they lost in overtime. I was like, their season might be done right now.
They got a little drab in the middle of the year.
But don't get it twisted. They are getting fucked up in whatever first game that they have to play.
Nolan, I think I disagree with that. I think if they play like Kansas City, they could definitely beat Kansas. They're not going on a run, but they want to beat a good team really badly. Like they've
always played Kansas City tough.
I feel like this whole destiny has to come down to Kansas City Buffalo in the AFC Championship.
But
has to.
They are set up to play Cincinnati right now. The Chargers. If
that'll be a fantastic game. I
think Cincinnati kills them, dude.
I don't know. I think it might be on the Chargers. I don't know. It's been a while since they've had a real showing in the playoffs. They're a talented team.
There's always one team in the playoffs that just gets absolutely shit kicked, and I think it's going to be the Chargers.
I mean, it could be the Ravens by the Jaguars.
I don't know. Here's the thing. The Ravens are going to play a really close game and then blow it. That's what the Ravens are going to do.
No, I mean, the Dolphins look like shit right now. They could get blown out too.
Well, I guess the whole thing with Tua was before the concussion is when they were up 20-10, and then after the concussion is when their offense trying to move the ball. So I don't know if you buy into any of that, but that's kind of what is the prevailing thought is he got concussed and then couldn't really play after that.
I'm out on the Dolphins, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so out on the Dolphins. It's crazy.
The thing is, Nolan, I'm more out on like the rest of the teams that might make it in the AFC.
And Sal, true. Here it comes. We have two stinkers coming into this week, and it's a game that matters so much in New England and Miami.
Oh yeah.
Both these teams want to throw it so bad. Like the Patriots are so checked after these last 2 weeks, and they still have a chance to make the playoffs. That's crazy. That's on heroin.
It's almost impossible that they can still make the playoffs. Honestly,
it's honestly mind-boggling that they still have a chance after those two faded ass losses. Can you imagine if they won both those games?
Oh yeah, they'd be
9-6. They'd be right with the Chargers right now.
Dude, the Steelers have an outside chance of making the playoffs. Like that's insane.
Dude, they're going 9-8.
You've been on this
for sure.
This is the third week, so like this is a huge game. I want to get in this week. Can we get in this week? Do we have any objections?
Yeah, let's go, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Dallas and Tennessee. Dallas is a 12-point favorite in Nashville. Over under is 40 points.
The quarterback hasn't thrown for over 100 yards in a game yet. Malik Willis.
He's like the Army quarterback, dude. He doesn't throw
and Derrick Henry might be out.
Derrick Henry is doubtful for Thursday night.
So that's why it's 12 probably, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, with Malik Willis, it's terrible. But then you take Derrick Henry out of the equation.
So they should win by 30. The Cowboys.
They should, but are they going to?
Yeah.
This is such a Dallas loss that would happen right now.
Well, after beating the best team in the league last year or last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So this is the role that you need to take Mike Vrabel in, and I don't want to take the Titans plus 12, but this is just a game that's going to be $20 to $17 for no reason. So I'll take Tennessee.
I don't know about that close. I don't know about 20 to 17, but I don't know. The Mike Vrabel point's a good point. I think they could scathe maybe, losing within 8, something like that. Nothing crazy, but I think, you're probably right. Tennessee at home with all those points. I'll roll with Tennessee.
Yeah, I think it's a 3-way Tennessee here. I think they should cover that 12. Just because Dallas is going to take their foot off the gas, all
right, maybe Tennessee first half, but Dallas comes into this game and is we're gonna kill this team.
I don't even like Dallas I don't even like Tennessee first half. I think Dallas leads this entire game. It's close for no reason.
Interesting. I think Tennessee covers the spread, but I don't love it either. I'm all set with that. That's a terrible Thursday night football game. I'm all set with
terrible.
Saints +6 at Philly. This line would tell me that it's gonna be Minshew, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, are they just resting him for the playoffs? They're just gonna keep him on ice.
You need to win. You need to win for the number 1 seed.
That's true.
It probably depends what happens in this game. If they win this game, then I'm sure they hit in the last week. But
if they win this game, then he sits for week 17. But it's if they lose this game, it's what? Then you're gonna bring him to play week 18 against the Giants and a must-win for the number 1 seed and a bye.
Could they actually lose this game though?
Yeah. No.
Could they?
No, I don't think so. I think they're gonna cover as well.
No, they can't.
I don't see the Saints making some sort of miracle play to win this game.
No, man.
Especially when Philly just came off a loss to Dallas. No way.
Yeah, I'm going to take Philly -6, but I think that's a bad pick. I think both sides are a bad pick. This is a gross game, too.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad pick, but I think Saints +6 is a really, really bad pick on the road in Philly.
So bad. That's the worst pick ever.
No, Andy Dalton might look.
We got another round
of Philly. Andy Dalton might look awful. That's actually like.
And Gardner Minshew might look really good.
Yeah, I like that. All right, the game of the weekend probably, or one of them. Miami at New England. New England's now up to a 3-point favorite. It was -1 when I looked earlier. Over under is 41.5. I'll let you guys go first.
I can't believe that this game is what's gonna decide it all. Like this is deciding it all right here. This game. I mean, not like set in stone, but like.
Oh, yeah.
But it is. So like, I just can't. As much as I hate the New England Patriots at the moment, I think that they win this game. It's just gonna come down to like a coaching battle. And their coaching has been so bad, but that's just what the Patriots are gonna do. And every week I'm like, I do that. I'm like, yeah, the Patriots, I'm not worried about them. Like they're just, their coaching's good, so blah blah. And then they just every week is just like a coaching blunder. And Matt Patricia calling the plays is fucking awful. It's so bad. It's like it's college level bad. Like it's high school football level bad. Like he needs to never call plays.
There's high school coaches that could call a better NFL game than Matt Patricia could. I'm actually convinced of that.
And it's so fucking terrible. It's so terrible. So, I mean, fuck it. I'm going to take New England here. They're at home against a shitty Miami team that has just not been able to really, like, cement themselves as much as we thought they would in the beginning of the year. So, I'm just going to take New England here.
I mean, listen, with this game. Yeah, I mean, with this game, when I think about it, New England they bumble their way to, almost coming back against Miami last year. What's that say?
I don't know. Keep going.
They bumble their way to, almost beating Cincinnati last week. They're at home, which kind of makes me want to take New England. But, I mean, geez, man, I just can't take New England anymore. I can't do it right now. I don't think it's meant to be this year with the playoffs or anything like that. Just
it's so hard
the way
to do
everything
right
is gone. I just don't see it at this point. So I'm gonna take Miami in New England, and it's not also gonna be frigid this weekend. It's gonna be 50 something.
Did you say take Miami and New England? Is that what you said?
No, is that what I said?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
that's what I
said over New England.
I'm faded.
But yeah, it's not like it's gonna be like 20 degrees this weekend either. So
true.
I like Miami.
I'm only doing this for the sake of my New England Patriots. I will take the Miami Dolphins. I think this can go either way. I think a lot of people are going to. I think a lot of people are going to bet on New England this weekend. I think that's going to be a lot of like money line New England and someone else parlays, and that's not a good thing. I mean, people are going to be like, oh, Teddy Bridgewater's in there, and they're not going to score points and blah blah. It's like Teddy Bridgewater's fine, and it's like
Teddy Bridgewater's been pretty successful.
Wow, 75% of the money is on New England money line.
Yeah, I don't like that. Oh.
They're -165, dude.
Yeah.
How?
I'll take Miami, but I don't love the pick. But
I just have to.
I don't love it either.
The reason why I'm picking New England here is because if I think I'm correct about the Patriots from my prediction for the end of the year, I said they're gonna win the game against Miami in New England.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna go to Buffalo and get absolutely housed for the playoffs, and they're gonna be kicked out, and that's where
You're probably right. I don't want to keep picking New England for them to just keep losing in heartbreaking fashion. So I'll just take Miami to that off of that. Yeah, I'm also.
I said so too, but I picked Cincinnati last week though. But I mean, I thought like it was gonna be a lot easier. It came down to a sweat, and I thought the Patriots were gonna fucking do it, man. 22-6 in the fourth quarter, and they almost come back. That's crazy.
I know. So I need to rewind about, 15 minutes in this podcast. I said Detroit's my pick to get out of the NFC. It's just not. I think I'm taking. I think I'm taking the Packers because this next game is my favorite. Yeah, I know. I got roped back in. Just listen. Bears +6 at Detroit. Over under 52. The Bears are covering this game 100% of the time, and they're winning it like 60% of the time. Detroit should not be a 6-point favorite. I'm sorry. That's not how this works. It's just not happening.
Just when they thought you were out, Sal.
Just when we thought he was
They
off
pulled
it,
you right back in.
I
he
know.
relapses again.
Yeah. I think Chicago wins this game. I really do, and I think it's
That's
a
why
lower.
he-
I
Wait,
could see
wait.
that, dude. I could definitely see Chicago winning that game.
That's why he's in South Carolina, Antonio. He's at his Aaron Rodgers rehab facility, and he's leaving, so he's gonna relapse immediately, dude. He's relapsed immediately. You need to go back for another week.
He's at the hotel right now. He already left the center. So.
I just left the meeting right before this, and I'm relapsing right now. So I'm sorry about
He's
that.
literally in the meeting right now. He's in the meeting, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm picking Aaron Rodgers," and they're like, "No."
No,
That's
Chicago
so
wins
funny.
this. Genuinely, Chicago wins this game. I don't know why. Detroit should just not be a 6-point favorite in an NFL football game. Not at this point. So give me Chicago.
Chicago's played some teams pretty tough too, and Detroit, like better teams than Detroit. Definitely better teams than Detroit. I think Chicago's just the pick here.
I am going with Dan Campbell and the gritty Lions.
Damble.
They're going crazy. They want to make the playoffs. They just continue to push. Lost a tough one against Carolina. I'm not going to lie. That was a tough one. They couldn't stop the run. And now they got to stop the number one running back in the league. That is Justin Fields. So I'm going to take Detroit. Fuck the Bears. They're really fucking bad. And, yeah, that's all I have to say.
No. Denver at Kansas City. What a performance on Christmas by the Denver Broncos. Denver is a 12.5-point dog.
Yeah,
over
I guess we
under
really didn't get into that.
45 points. If we want to get into it now, we can, but it's like they just gave up in that game. They didn't want to be there. It was Christmas. Their defense did not
Did
care.
they know that Nathaniel Hackett was on the hot seat and they were just like, yeah, we're throwing this?
I would presume so. I mean,
I don't
at that
think so
point,
because I don't think Russell Wilson was in on that.
Well, Jesus didn't love Russell Wilson
just,
on Sunday either.
He's
Or
just
Saturday,
really,
rather.
yeah, he's just really bad. Like there wasn't throwing. It was just that's how he plays every week. Like that is just consistently how bad Russell Wilson is.
Another fight on the sideline.
The defense did not care in that game. Baker Mayfield was 24 of 28 in that game. How? And it's an NFL defense. That means they literally weren't trying. So I think at this point, because they fired their coach, I'm going to take Denver here, but they're not coming close. Be like a 10 point
yes, Sal's the new head coach the week after.
I take that spot 100% of the time. So I'm just taking Denver here. I don't really care.
I respect it. I think Kansas City kills them. I think that they're completely checked. I don't think that. I mean, are they gonna sit Russell Wilson for this game? Like,
No. So here's the thing with Denver. They have no incentive to not keep trying this thing with Russell Wilson. Like, he's there for the next 2 or 3 seasons. So, like,
yeah, they have their hands tied, huh?
Yeah, benching him for Brett Ripien or drafting another quarterback, that still doesn't help you because they owe like $80 million in dead cap if they cut him any year in the next 2 or 3. So they're screwed. They have
yeah, they're so silly, man. They're so silly for paying him that much. Like, they're just a bunch of silly gooses over there. And like, I can't imagine him doing anything against this Kansas City team. I mean, I know that they played it close when they played in Denver, which that's just Patrick Mahomes' kryptonite, I guess, is just Denver. He doesn't like playing there, so it really doesn't matter who's on the other side. But like Russell Wilson can't come into Arrowhead and do anything. So I think Kansas City should easily cover this 12.5.
Antonio?
I don't know, for stupid and dumb reasons. I could see Denver coming in here and playing a pretty decent game. Kansas City hasn't exactly blown. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Give Antonio any sort of reason to take Denver, and he's taking Denver.
Yeah, you need to go. You need to join Sal at the rehab.
Yeah, come
facility.
down here. That's a different
Denver
rehab.
Well, listen,
Broncos.
it's 12. Come on, give me a break.
It is a lot of points.
No, Kansas City hasn't really blown out the teams that they should blow out, so I'm just going to stay on the side of history and take Denver.
I like it. Hackett's gone. They have some sort of motivation, and they can't keep putting out weeks of tape where they're not like playing well at all. So I think they play a lot better this week. Whether they cover or not, I don't know, but I'll take Denver. So 2 for Denver, 1 for Kansas City. Next game. This game does not matter realistically in the grand scheme of things. Jacksonville at Houston. Jacksonville's a 4.5-point favorite. Even if Jacksonville loses and Tennessee wins, Jacksonville still wins in Dead in Week 18. So really, the motivation factor for Jacksonville isn't there. I'm going to take Houston in this game. They've been playing pretty good lately.
What do you got?
Yeah, I can almost kind of see it playing out that way where Jacksonville is on the uptrend and they somehow even lose a game like this week and then still somehow win next week to get in, because no matter what, next week is for the division anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I'm gonna still take Jacksonville. I don't know. I don't think Jacksonville's getting swept by Houston. No shot.
Yeah, I think
that's fair.
I think Jacksonville's on a streak right now, and they've just looked very good.
And they can cover that 4.
And they definitely could cover this 4. But however, this could be like one of those really good games for no reason, just because it's the one that doesn't matter. Like it could be like the 34-28 type game, or something like that.
Yeah, Houston's played a couple close games.
I like the over in this game.
4 close games.
Yeah, over-unders. What do you have, Sal? I have 43.5.
43.5, yeah. I think that game goes over, but who knows? 43.5 seems a little low to me.
I mean, Jacksonville's been scoring points lately. I can't see how they can't score points in this one.
Jacksonville's looked very good. I'll give them a lot of credit. They played some decent teams too. The Jets have been this season. They beat the Cowboys. Who else have they beaten? Who else have they beaten? The Raiders, they beat Baltimore. I guess they played okay teams, not great teams, but
ETN,
no,
1,000-yard rusher.
I mean, yeah, the only bad loss they have is against Detroit. There, that was a bad loss.
Yeah,
I mean, they lost to Denver. They lost to Denver. That's a bad loss.
And then from 1 year to the next, Trevor Lawrence has the most improved quarterback rating like ever by like a margin from one season to the next.
Wow, and they lost to the Texans last time they played, so that's just even more reason why I like them here.
That's what I mean. I don't think they're getting swept.
Yeah, what a terrible. That was just that 6-game skid, bro, or 5-game skid, whatever it is. They definitely could have.
They looked so bad.
Already had that playoff spot clinched up at this point, I think.
Oh yeah, if they beat Houston.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
What?
We lost Salvatore. What happened? What?
Was that not hilarious?
Yeah.
He was in like the middle of talking.
You were like, what? You didn't see it happen? Were you looking down?
What? No, I saw it happen.
Oh.
Let's get Sal back in here.
Maybe forget what game we were on. Free meeting has ended.
Yeah, what? You have to pay?
Free?
What, do you have to pay, dude? Wait, what?
Oh, no shot.
Wait, let me see if I can get him back in here.
Make another account.
The problem is I can't fucking see. Let me just go. That's actually so fucking funny. I'm just in the middle.
I wonder if he can still hear us, Salvatore.
No, I don't think so, unless he has Twitch open.
Well, Phil.
Hopefully we get him back. Here we go.
Hey, how are you?
Are we back?
Yeah. I don't know what that was about, but
I don't know what that was about either, but we're back, so that's
always
what matters.
something, huh? It's always something.
So wait, what game were we talking about?
Jacksonville and Houston, and you were literally in the middle of a sentence.
Vegas did not. Whatever I was saying, Vegas did not want me to get out. So whatever I was about to say was right. So.
Wow, the gremlin pulled the plug.
Now,
Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is if Jackson ends up winning this division, I mean those 3 other teams in this division, it might be a long time until another one of those teams sees a title in that division.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the king of that division.
Yeah,
for a
but
while.
I mean, I don't see Doug Peterson going anywhere either. Like those two look like they're, a good quarterback and coaching duo, and other good young pieces on the offense. Will be around for a while.
I do have something to bring up, and we might have already talked about this, but Sean Payton is very interested in getting back in the coaching portal next year. Did we say that there's a team? What team did we say we wanted him to go to?
Denver?
What would we?
Oh, or Arizona?
Arizona, I liked.
It was that. We were like, oh, him with Kyler could be interesting.
Are they going to fire, what's his name?
Kingsbury after the season. They'll wait till after the season, but yeah, they should. He actually coached a decent game Sunday night, like with Mitch Sorley to put up 16 against them. They hung in tough. I mean, they probably could have won that game.
Are they really
going
to pin this on him though after like the losses that they had? I mean, JJ Watt can't stay healthy. Kyler Murray.
The problem is that they can't pin it on Kyler. Like they're paying Kyler too much money. At that point, you just have to change the quarterback and hope that it works out.
I don't think Kingsbury's a great coach either.
How long is Kyler's deal for?
5 years.
Fuck. All these teams, man, they make such poor financial choices, and then they have to just get the coach out of there because like they're like, it's your fault. Even though we paid this guy so much, it's your fault.
I mean, he could go to. I mean, Denver's going to be in the running for him. You'd have to think. I mean, if Saturday's not coming back, Indy might have interest.
I was just gonna say that, Antonio. I think Indy's maybe a good option.
I don't know how Peyton.
Give him a fresh young quarterback. Like I think Indy could be exciting for him.
Who's a fresh young quarterback?
I don't know. I mean, they would probably have to do the thing where they, patch something together for next year, and then hopefully they get a high pick in the year after.
They have to keep doing that because that roster's too good for them to get a high draft pick. I'd say I think Indianapolis would be a good fit for Peyton, and I think he'd like to go there if there was a quarterback set in stone there. But
who's going to get there?
I have two other options.
What?
I think
coach.
Wait, before we do that, Sal, who would be a good quarterback to go to the Colts that Sean Payton would be like, okay?
Derek Carr.
Yeah, that's right. He's looking for. He might get traded.
Wow. No,
are the Colts going to do that again for the third year in a row?
Derek Carr just got me horned up with that one.
No, Derek Carr's going to the Giants.
No, he's not. I like Daniel Jones. I'm actually going to give Daniel Jones some love. I don't
think there's such a big jump if you put Daniel Carr there between him and Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, if Derek Carr was throwing to these receivers this year, I don't know.
He has Devontae Adams, and he's still having a terrible year.
Antonio, they would be worse because Derek Carr cannot run. It's like half your offense is Daniel Jones just running for 7 yards and getting a first down.
Every year it's just like, Daniel Jones looks good, but let's see him throw to some receivers with an offensive line. But every year it doesn't happen. Is next year going to be different? Every year something goes wrong.
Oh, I meant to say this either last week or the week before. I need under my profile. I'm a big Isaiah Hodgins fan. I think he's very good. I watched him at
he's fun.
I watched him at Oregon State, and I was like, this dude's really good. And then Buffalo picked him up and dropped him, and then you guys got him. And when you guys got him, I was like, okay, they're actually going to throw to him now, and he's really good.
He's been catching touchdowns since he came in, touchdowns and big catches.
I think he has Thibodeau. 3. Yeah, Thibodeau's been playing really well.
Like he's a really good, exciting rookie.
That defense will be good for a while with him. With those two corners that are going to be back next year because they're two great young corners that both hurt.
Antonio, your team is just competent. They show up every week and know exactly what they need to do to win a football game. They don't. It's not flashy. It's not fun. It's just you guys show up and put your hard hat on and you play football.
Exactly. And I can't wait until it's healthy next year because a lot of the bright spots in this team will be returning.
Do you have money to spend in the offseason? Because that's a big thing. If you can sign a good receiver, that's huge.
I think maybe not this year. The year after, they have so much. Or no, they do have a lot next year, but are they going to pay Saquon is the thing.
What do you think about that, Antonio? Because I wouldn't. You just can't give a running back.
I wouldn't at all.
You would?
You would? Try to trade him maybe.
See, the offensive line isn't good enough right now to where I would.
Well, his deal's up, right? So he would have to go somewhere.
His deal's up. I don't know if they could franchise tag him or anything like that.
Ooh.
I think they may be able to put the franchise tag on him. The problem with getting rid of Saquon is this is the offensive line still isn't good, but it's better than it has been in the last 5 years. Other running backs have looked all right. Like Breida's had some good runs back there and stuff like that. But I don't
definitely want to franchise tag him then.
I would want another running back that I know would get me yards because with that offensive line still, if you just have any old schmo back there, I could see it going bad and not having any type of running game next year.
So realistically, Antonio, say you signed Aaron Jones on a 1-year deal. How much worse is your offense?
Okay, maybe that's not so bad. But if they can't make a splash like that, That worries me.
Sal's buzzing right now with these guys. Like Aaron Jones and the Giants would be so sick.
you like to
sign him anyway.
So wow, imagine him and Saquon.
Sign him anyway.
If they had both, that would be kind of horny.
No, they need Tony Pollard is who they need.
Him and Tony Pollard is really good.
Breida's been fine. It's just they don't have any other dynamic weapons really on offense at receiver to kind of let them play
Tony
around
Pollard
with that running
catch.
game. Is he a free agent?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yeah, he's gonna get paid though.
Yeah,
that's the problem. He's gonna get paid by somebody.
I'm taking all of my earthly possessions and selling them because I know exactly what you guys are picking in this game. Carolina at Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay's -3. You guys are both taking Tampa Bay 100%.
Oh yeah.
I can't not.
Oh yeah. So that was the easiest call you've ever had. Like what the
Ever.
fuck?
Even though the Panthers are probably the right pick, what am I gonna pick? Tampa to lose and miss the playoffs?
The only reason, and I'm on my Sal bullshit right now. I'm on my Sal
Tampa
bullshit.
-3 every week? Tampa's literally -3.
Yeah, and they never cover it, but I'm picking them again. So listen, the only reason I'm picking this and I'm on some Sal bullshit right now is Tom Brady posted about he posted like some team pictures or something. He has not done that since like they won in Germany.
Really?
He hasn't posted I think he posted a video what was the game on November 6th? Was that Germany? Where he did like the let's go like with the W thing.
That was against the Rams when they came back.
Yeah, it was like that.
That was before Germany.
He hasn't posted a video like that since then, and he hasn't posted like a picture about the team since they won in Germany. So like he's like, guys, let's kick it in gear. He knows the playoff run is coming, Sal. He knows it's coming, and it starts in Tampa Bay this week. This is when it starts.
How can I look at myself in the face and take Carolina in this game? I just can't, can I?
Even though they've played so good the past 2 weeks, you just cannot do it.
Dude, there's like a new NFC South team like every like 3 weeks where you're like, oh, they might take over Tampa now because they like the Falcons, the Saints, and the Panthers have all done this year. They go on a 5-game losing streak. They win 3 games in a row. Then they'll go and lose 3 games in a row again. They've all taken turns doing that.
It's going to be the ugliest game you've ever seen. It's going to be like a 20-13 Tampa Bay win.
So my only question about this game before I make a pick, if Carolina wins this game, is Tampa Bay still not in first place? Is that not how it works?
I think they would be, right?
Yeah, because they're still a game up.
They're still a game up.
And they've beaten everybody in the division at least once.
No,
they lost to the Panthers.
They lost to the Panthers. Wow.
Yeah, so like they're winning this game. They're hammered. They might hammer them.
In Tampa, they're winning.
I'm taking Tampa, but that's scary.
They're both bad. Tampa's at home.
They're not getting swept by Carolina, Sal. You really think that?
Tampa's Nolan. I know you love Tom Brady, and I know you love this team. They're really bad, Nolan.
Who else is really bad? Carolina. They're so bad.
Nolan, they've been good since they got their new coach. I think they're 4-2, and I would be like, "Ooh, well, it's Carolina." They've been better.
I agree with you. I think that they have played very well, and I think like Matt Rule was definitely not the right fit. They've let Deontay Foreman run absolutely wild, but I don't think they're going to be able to do that this week. That was the only reason why they scored so many against Detroit. Is Detroit are shivs against the run.
We're agreeing on a lot of these games, but yeah, Tampa Bay is my pick. So round of Tampa.
You and Antonio are agreeing a lot. I've been on the lonely island mostly.
Fair enough.
Still 2 1:00 games.
Yeah, I know a lot of games. 3 more 1:00 games actually that I have.
Let's go.
Indy at the Giants. Indy is a 6-point dog. Over under is 38.5. The more the week went on last week, I think every person I saw talk about that Indy game was taking Indy plus 3.5 against the Chargers. I knew that there was no way that the Colts were covering that game. Like every person was on Indy plus 3.5 last week. Saying that
because everybody's scared of the Chargers.
Apparently, I'm taking the Colts plus 6. I just think that this is a close game, and the Giants never really blow people out. So I'll take the 6 points.
6 is way too big of a spread for the Giants to cover. So I'm going to be with you on the Colts.
I'm taking the Giants here. I love the Giants in this spot. I don't think the Colts really have anything. The Giants at least have a little bit of something. They have motivation to play, and anytime that they've had that like energy to play, they've played really well. I think that they look really good in this game.
Winning you're in, right?
Winning you're in.
Yeah, pretty much. So I think that they seal it up. They have to seal it up this game.
They'll do it in front of their fans.
So I love I love the Giants here, and I think -6 is telling you something.
Cleveland at Washington. This is the it game of the week. Cleveland's a +2.5 point dog. Over-under is 40.5. I think both of you could sell all of your worldly possessions and tell me who I'm taking here.
Because I'm with you.
He loves Cleveland.
I love Cleveland too.
You guys love Cleveland, bro. Every week, you guys love Cleveland.
I mean, it is. Well, yeah, they're 6-9. It's not like their record's terrible. Are these teams that much like different when it comes to the talent disparity? Not really.
Deshaun Watson looked so bad, dude. He's looked so
Deshaun Watson is a wheelchair out there, dude. I don't think he's had a good appearance. I mean, he looked really hype when they won that game. Was it this past week or was it the week before when like they won and he was like hyping up the crowd? I'm like, bro, calm the fuck down. Like that was the worst game I think I've ever seen.
So he's been back for 4 games, and I think he's led 2 touchdown drives since he's been back, which is like, whoa.
This is a Nick Chubb game.
I mean, I said that last week, and he only had like 80 yards. I mean, for him, I guess for any running back, 80 yards rushing is good, but you're probably right about that. I just think Cleveland wins this game. You can't rally around Carson Wentz. They're not winning. Like, that's just not happening.
I figure the quarterback play is not going to be very good between either of the teams, and Nick Chubb is the running back out of all these guys. So,
and I mean, if we're saying here that either Detroit, Seattle, or Green Bay is getting in, one of the 2 teams between the Giants and Washington has to drop off. I'll take Washington dropping off for the simple fact that they're faded enough for playing Carson Wentz in this game. He's going to look terrible. This is going to be a terrible quarterback game.
Everybody's going to be picking against them now.
Yeah, no, and that's just an auto for you. Like, as soon as it was Carson Wentz.
It has to be. And it's so funny because it's been an auto Washington pick for me every week since then. Like, since they took Taylor Heineke and he went on that win streak, like, you could have made a lot of money off them if you just bet them every week. Like, they turned into a covering machine.
Imagine if Taylor Heineke came in and we said we're just, like, doubling our bet every week on Taylor Heineke. We would have been millionaires at that point. We would have been
exactly. So, I mean, Carson Wentz is the anti-whatever that is. Like, they're going to look terrible. I mean, this is an under if I've ever seen one. If both quarterbacks are terrible.
That too.
Does this not scream like somehow Washington wins by 8 points? Like it's +2.5 and they win by like it's like 24-23 Washington.
Yeah,
like,
I just can't see Washington winning this game. I'll take Cleveland.
I like Cleveland too. So round of Cleveland. This next game is like
the only thing that can make me take Cleveland is if Carson Wentz is on the other side. That's the only thing that can make me take the Browns. Literally.
This next game is garbage. Arizona at Atlanta. Atlanta's -3.
That's so
Atlanta?
gross.
Like just Atlanta, I guess.
Yeah, but they haven't covered a spread in ever, right?
Yeah, they've been really bad against the spread lately.
Why did they stop playing Mariota?
Right.
Was it because he was hurt?
No, because he was bad. We had this conversation. He's literally bad.
Was Spencer Rattler's that much better?
Desmond Ridder. Spencer Rattler. Where did you get
who's that?
No,
I'm on Mars, dude. Desmond Ridder is what I meant.
Spencer Rattler.
That was a good one. No, Desmond Ritter.
I'm looking up Spencer Rattler to see if it's a person now. See if he got
he's the South Carolina
quarterback.
He plays
I was right with the colors. They're kind of close.
Well, you know what?
Why did I say Spencer Rattler?
Am
I on heroin?
I have to take Atlanta in this game because Atlanta is playing Tampa next week, and I need to take Atlanta one more time before the season ends.
You want to know what the funniest thing about this podcast is that we just take the same teams every week. I always take Cleveland. Like Antonio always takes Atlanta and Denver. Like Nolan will always take Taylor Heineke. Like we all just take the same.
And I always take New England.
Yeah, literally.
It hasn't really worked out, but I mean,
not this year.
We're pretty even on our picks. Like we're pretty close to 500. Like, so I mean, I guess it's kind of worked. If it was the opposite way, like
I'm blowing 500 away on the overall record. My pick 3 is just
pick 3. You're terrible at that, but
we've had a really not Nolan necessarily, but me and Antonio have had a really rough year as to trying to pick our pick 3. Like I started off hot at the beginning of the year, and for the last 7 weeks, I've gone 1-2 or 0-3. It's just getting a little.
I was the worst in the beginning of the week. In the beginning of the year,
we were all terrible.
I was the worst.
You just went on a run, a little run.
I went on a little run in the middle bit, but now I'm probably gonna tank now because
I
that's
just
how it
don't
is.
get-
What kind of draft pick you want?
Yeah, no one's standing for a pick. No,
I just want us
don't
to all have the same record at the end of the year. Imagine that.
How does Nolan have the worst overall record with the best pick 3 record, and Antonio's the best overall record with the worst pick 3 record? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
We're on meth. I don't know.
It's just been that kind of year, though. It has really been that kind of year, if you really think about it. Like, this has been a wild year for the NFL.
No, did you say Arizona, or you trying to?
I took Atlanta.
I
took Atlanta. I mean, this game is just a toss-up, so I always take the home team when that happens.
All right. San Fran at Vegas. San Fran is a 10-point favorite in Vegas. This will be Jared Stidham. Derek Carr has been benched for the rest of the season. Over-under is 41.5 points.
The old Bay rivalry.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't take San Fran in this game, which is making me want to take Vegas.
Like, so we have Brock Purdy versus Jarrett Stidham.
Yes, that is correct.
What a titan matchup that is. I mean, Brock Purdy's been looking good. I mean, Jarrett Stidham, we haven't really seen much of him other than, like, New England when he was there. And, like, he did come in and was a little bit exciting, if I remember correctly. I don't remember.
San Fran 23-6.
He was fine.
Cover the 10.
Yeah, I remember he was fine, right?
Yeah, he was fine. I might bet $6 million on Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown this game. Like, he is 100% scoring a touchdown. Like, he is definitely scoring a touchdown. San Fran wins this game but doesn't cover. I'm going to take Vegas. I don't know why.
Sal does one of those trade-up things where he starts with, like, a penny, and then the last part of him becoming, like, a millionaire is a Christian McCaffrey touchdown. He gets stopped on, like, the 1-yard line for the last play of the game.
Wasn't there a show like that? It was, like, Trade Wars or something on A&E where, like, they would trade up and try to get, like, whatever they wanted. Do you remember that show?
That sounds right. I haven't seen it or heard of it, but I mean, that sounds about right.
That was a fun show because they would be like, I'm going to start off with this chair and trade it up to an ATV. And then they would just somehow do it. It's like, all right.
Or, like, they start with, like, a paper clip and they trade up to, like, a Lamborghini. You're like, what?
Yeah, literally. I don't know. I'm taking Vegas here. It's kind of gross, but whatever.
I'm going to take San Fran. I'm going to take San Fran here.
These two games are what we've all been waiting for. Jets at Seattle. Jets are a -1.5 point favorite in Seattle.
Oh, in Seattle. Is Jamal Adams playing?
Ooh, good point.
He's not hurt, right?
He was.
I don't believe. Oh, was he?
I think he was hurt in the beginning of the year. I don't know if when he came back or if he came back.
Yeah, he's Adams knee injury reserve. Yeah, he's not playing.
Yeah, he got hurt like week 5 or something. Maybe week 4.
Damn.
Well, I'll be watching.
The honorary Jamal Adams Bowl.
I mean,
I need to hear who you guys are taking first.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough spot for the Jets to win, but the Jets might win because, I mean, just the simple fact that Zach Wilson is not playing, they're going to further double down on the fact that, like, Zach Wilson is not the guy because for some reason, the coach of the Jets, Robert Saleh, just seems to think that he can just keep saying that he's giving Zach Wilson another chance. Like, Zach Wilson could literally go on the field and, like, murder 3 people, and he'd be like, yeah, we might start him next game. Yeah, we might go back to him. It's like, no, he is not the guy, and I think this is going to further solidify that in this game when either Michael White or Joe Flacco ball out. I mean, not ball out, but, like, win the game. So that's my take.
Antonio, what are you thinking?
When we were discussing the game before, I did express that I thought the Jets were going to cover this game and probably win this game, but now realizing that it's in Seattle, I actually fucking hate the Jets going into Seattle. Like, really.
That's the only thing that I hate about this.
I don't like it at all. I'm going to take Seattle.
Did not think I was going to do this, but Jets, Jets. They are winning. We're back to Mike White. Come on, that's all. That's
Michael
all I need.
White, man.
Michael White is our Lord and Savior, and he's going to lead the Jets to a victory in this game. So give me the Jets. That's my pick.
This podcast is just Sal's time to be a Jets fan.
Sometimes I really like the Jets, and other times I'm like, I fucking hate the Jets. But when I like the Jets, I really like rooting for the Jets, and I'm going for the Jets this weekend. So let's go Jets.
Same.
Minnesota at Green Bay. Over-under is 48. Minnesota's a 3-point dog in Green Bay. See, now, this is where I should relapse, right, and take Green Bay. I kind of like Minnesota in this game, though.
Wow.
I think they've been disrespected all year, and that was a curveball, right, Antonio?
Honestly, that was a curveball.
That's awesome. I don't know. So I was like, I think it's so obvious that he might not, though.
So, like, it's not even a Vegas thing or, I think Green Bay's going to make the playoffs or anything. Genuinely, this Minnesota team's better than people think, and they're just one of those, like, regular season teams where, like, weird shit happens. So I'll take 3, and maybe Minnesota loses by 2 or Minnesota pulls out the game. I just don't see the Packers winning by more than 3 points in this game. I'm going to take Minnesota here.
Yeah, I'm also going to take Minnesota. Like I said earlier, I kind of like it to end here for the Packers this week. I think everybody's kind of getting this hope about Aaron Rodgers again making the playoffs, and I think it's going to fall flat earlier than everybody thinks.
So I have every NFC team losing. So I have Washington losing, Green Bay losing, Seattle losing. Who was the 4th team?
That was on the NFC bubble? Team? Minnesota.
Yeah. No, who's on the bubble?
The wild card teams.
And I have Detroit losing. I have all 4 of them losing. That's not happening. Whatever.
You ready for another curveball? I like Green Bay in this game.
Oh God, that means they're winning. That literally.
I love Green Bay in this game. I don't think they're done tickling people yet. I really don't. And I know a lot of people are high on them. I don't think they're done doing it yet.
So next week's the carpet pull. Once they get to next week, then they're yep.
I really do think next week we're gonna be in for like a really exciting unfolding.
And then me and Sal are gonna want to put our mortgages on Green Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when we're here next week in this spot, hopefully Sal will be here in the flesh so we can kiss. But I really do think like it's gonna come down between these 3 teams. Like it's gonna be like. You're going to like see that, like in the end when they have that fucking guy on like the NBC broadcast where he's got that fucking board, that touch screen when they had when they're doing the presidential elections and they do the same thing.
Yes, oh yeah.
They're like,
all right, if this happens,
we need Biden to win here. We need Trump to win here. It's going to be like that. We're going to need Detroit to do this. We're going to need Green Bay to do this. We're going to need the sun to be in Venus. And we're going to need, that's literally what's going to happen. That guy is going to be on crack next week.
So here's the other curveball. I'm flipping because Nolan's on the Packers. I'm also taking the Packers.
He needed that. He needed
excuse. Such an idiot, dude. That's what I wanted.
Yeah. Now Nolan's saying I'm flipping to Minnesota. You fucking dumbass. No, I don't know. If Nolan's hitting Green Bay, that tells me something. That's all I need to hear. So I'm taking Green Bay. That's my only rationale.
I gotta go away from the norm here, and it's just like when I'm trying to just picture what's gonna happen on Sunday. That's just what I see, and I
like it.
Minnesota. You're right. Minnesota's a weird team in the fact that like some weeks they look really good, some weeks they look really bad. I think we're gonna get bad Kirk Cousins this weekend, because it's just not an environment that I think he's used to. They play in Minnesota, but they play in a dome. They never play in.
Is the Kirk Cousins like ladder? Does it tier down? So like 1 o'clock he's up here, and then like 4:25 he takes a step down, or is it 1 and 4:25 he's fine, but then prime time he's bad?
I don't know, because I feel like 1 o'clock games sometimes he looks terrible.
He does. This year he's just been kind of taking like half steps up and half steps down, and not really.
Yeah, he's in a tighter range at this point. Yes, no, he's definitely like less volatile this year. The only stinker he had was that Cowboys game where he looked like the worst quarterback in the league.
Right. Now, he's also not going to throw for 5,000 yards this year like he has a few times in his career before. He normally throws for way more yards. So maybe that tells you something about what we were just talking about.
I think as the year has gone on too, he's realized that the recipe for success is just to throw to Justin Jefferson no matter what. It doesn't matter what kind of coverage is on him. Doesn't matter who's on him. You just throw when shit is going bad. That is the answer. You just throw to Justin Jefferson. You get him open on these little screens. Get him open on these little comeback routes on 3rd and 5. You literally do everything and open up everything, and it opens up the rest of the field. It opens up for Dalvin Cook. That's what happened in that Indy game. Like they've been feeding Justin Jefferson to get this comeback, and then boom, Dalvin Cook rips off a 70-yard run. I think that's just what they have to do when Kirk Cousins is looking bad, because obviously when he's looking good, everybody eats. Osborne eats, Cook eats, Hawkinson looks good. Like, you know what I mean? Like when he looks bad, that's the answer. And I think that they're slowly figuring that out because look at what happened. He looked like the worst quarterback ever in that Colts game. And then they just start throwing to Justin Jefferson, and they realize, holy shit, we had the best wide receiver ever. Maybe we should just throw to him. It doesn't matter who's quarterback.
His game log is actually like Madden this year. Like every game, it's 10 for 150 and a touchdown. It's like, how do you keep doing that?
Yeah, he broke Randy Moss's record. He's literally Randy Moss now. Randy Moss doesn't have a ring, so like if he breaks a Randy Moss record, he's Randy Moss.
He's insane.
He's had a Randy Moss type season.
Oh yeah, 3 games left. Rams at Chargers. This is disgusting. Rams are a 6.5 point dog in LA, but I guess it's both LA teams. Over/under is 41.
Sal, we don't want to pick this game.
We don't, but Antonio, you like the Rams here, don't you? Because I do.
Nah, I should, but I don't. See, this is the time of year where it's like prime Chargers blow their playoff chances time of year. But
no,
they've clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So it makes me like them in this game to not play like shit, you know? It's the end. Like it's so unfamiliar to them, and they're so comfortable in these last 2 weeks to where they're not really feeling the pressure about it. I think they're gonna cover it.
Wow. Okay. I kind of like.
I hate it, Sal. I fucking hate it.
I mean, I think that's an interesting take because.
No, I kind of like the rationale on that a lot.
No, I like the rationale because it's literally like the opposite of the way I was thinking, and I didn't even think about it like that. But it doesn't change my mind. And the fact that like I think the Chargers look really bad in this game.
People are gonna want to bet Baker
because they're comfortable. I don't.
That's
think
true. Also,
Baker, though.
I think people love them.
Do people really want to bet Baker? Has he really won America over again?
After last week, yeah, they put up 51 points. I think he has a point.
I don't know. I think like. It's going to be like too little too late for the Rams here. I mean, I know that are they statistically still in it?
Who? The Rams are out.
The Rams are out. So it's going to be like too little too late for the Rams. And they look really good with Baker Mayfield because like you said, what's his name? Sean McVay loves him. And like he hasn't looked that bad. He has not looked that bad. And last week he looked really good. So I'm thinking it's going to start clicking with Baker Mayfield, but it's going to be too little too late, like we said, and they're just going to win this game, I think.
I'm sticking with the Rams.
Not more. Like, why is it 6.5? Like, why is it not more?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Rams, but I really liked Antonio's reasoning for the game, so
Antonio's on the lonely island.
I was thinking about pick 3 in this. That's how much I like the Rams before Antonio said anything. Now I'm backing off that a little bit. Anyways.
You're
Sunday
so funny,
night,
dude. You're so silly.
It's a little nod. He's like, Antonio said that. I want to take him, but I'm just gonna give him a nod and stick with it.
He looks at you like one of those witchcraft people. Look at the bones cracking in the fire. Like when you say something, he's like, "Wait." He's like, "What did the bones say?"
Antonio's like the old elderly man across the bar that's like seen it all, and then you just give him one head nod, and you just know, okay, I gotta listen to him. Like he just like he steers you in the right direction. So I gotta be mindful of that. All right, Sunday. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Baltimore's a 2.5 point favorite. Over/under 35.
Yeah, that seems kind of high.
The right pick is Baltimore, right? Like that's the right pick, huh?
No, Pittsburgh.
Lamar's supposed to be back, correct?
Doesn't matter to me. Pittsburgh.
Because I want to take Pittsburgh. Because I want them to have a winning record.
They're gonna have a winning record, and they're gonna tickle a playoff spot. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs because they're bad still, but
oh god,
they're gonna tickle you because they want to have that winning record. That's all they care about.
Yeah, all the money's on the Steelers. Spread.
Lamar isn't practicing again. What is wrong with him?
Are they just resting him?
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter at this point.
Am I running out of time, dude? Wait.
Are we done? Are you okay?
I can't see.
It ends in 10 minutes. Wait, is there a Zoom Pro? How do I get the free version of Zoom?
Did we not record for when I joined back on?
No, we're good. We're recording, but I mean,
no, it's saying he's got like 10 minutes left before you get booted again.
Like, what is Zoom 1 Pro?
But we only have a game left.
Yeah, we'll wrap this up quick. I'm taking Baltimore simply because this line should be like, I don't even know, Pittsburgh -1. Like Pittsburgh should win this game, so I'll take Baltimore. I don't know. I don't have a good reason.
You're taking Pittsburgh?
No, I'm taking Baltimore.
No, I'm talking about.
No, he's asking me.
Oh.
You know, I want to take Pittsburgh, but
Yeah.
I really think the right pick is Baltimore here because at the end of the day, they look so gross, but they really are the better team out of these two teams. Maybe not by a lot at this point, but at home, I don't know. Something's telling me to take Baltimore.
Last game, Buffalo at Cincinnati. This is my favorite game of the weekend. Buffalo's a minus 1.5 point favorite. Over under 49.5. I think I've gone against Cincinnati for like 4 weeks in a row now, and I'm doing it again. Give me Buffalo. Yeah. Buffalo wins in this spot 100%.
I had a feeling we'd be on the same page here. I really like Buffalo over the Bengals in this game.
I really like Buffalo in this game.
I think it's going to be a good game. Buffalo's going to end up winning at the end.
Buffalo wins this game by 12. 33-21 Buffalo.
The Bengals got the Chiefs number. The Bills are a different situation.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati's on a 7-game win streak. Does it really go to 8 here? Like is that just something that you can see happening?
It might be favorable for them to lose another one before the playoffs start.
That's also true. I also feel like the Bills are different in primetime. I feel like every time they play in primetime, they always look like the best team ever.
And it's like in like Cincinnati. Yeah, I think you're right that they probably need a little reality check before the playoffs, and this would be a good spot for them because they play the Ravens last game of the year, and they love beating up on the Ravens. So
And if it goes the way I think, if Baltimore wins and Buffalo wins, that game next week is for the division. The winner of that is the division.
Wow,
winner.
that's true.
Yeah, so Cincinnati creams them if that happens. So I'll take Buffalo here.
I am very excited for this game though because anytime the Bengals are involved in these really big matchups against other big teams, the games are always awesome and exciting.
Yeah,
they're never duds. So it's even though I'm picking Buffalo, I still think it could very well be back and forth.
And I love the fact that they finally have a game like this in prime time. Like, I feel like these games just are always like a 4:00 game.
Yeah,
these like exciting AFC matchups. I feel like never get like the respect they deserve in these prime time games.
Chiefs and Bengals was 4:00. Remember that?
Chiefs and Bengals was 4:00. I mean, yeah, what was
the Cowboys run at night?
The Cowboys and Eagles were 4:00 last week. I know about the Immaculate Reception, but like, come on, bro, come on.
No, I agree with you.
So I think it would have been still fine if they made it like, you know, if they made that the 8:00 game, and that would have been a really good game. I mean, it was super back and forth, high scoring. Like, what wouldn't you want out of that game? So I don't know.
Now Buffalo also looked good running the ball with their running backs last week, which is something we haven't really seen yet.
Yeah, that was a good sign.
They can work more into that. I mean, they're going to look pretty going into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Buffalo here for sure. Pick 3. I went 1 and 2. So did Antonio because we had the same. Nolan, you went what? I don't even remember what you went.
I don't remember either, to be honest with you.
I want to say you went 2 and 1, but I could be completely wrong.
It might have been because didn't we have a game that we went against each other?
One of them. No. I was going to take Arizona, and I didn't end up. I know for sure you lost Tampa, but I think you won your other 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Whatever. We'll figure it out next week. We'll get an updated tally.
Well, we'll get the final tally for the regular season. And
That is true. I'm gonna go first. I'll be quick. Buffalo beat Cincinnati on Monday night. I really think that happens. I am a Michael White fan this week, so I'm taking the Jets minus 1.5. And the staple of Sal's pick 3, as always, the Cleveland Browns. Thank you very much.
All right, well, me and Sal always seem to have at least one pick in common, so I'll get the first one out of the way. I really like Buffalo against Cincinnati. I'm going to throw that in there. Believe it or not, I'm going to put the Chargers in my pick 3 as well. The more I think about it, the more I like them against the Rams this weekend. I don't know. And then Philly. I really like Philly at home to cover the 6 against the Saints. I think the Saints suck. Okay. They can't do anything on offense. So, yeah, give me Philly. I think Philly needs to score 20 points to cover that spread, and I think they can score 20.
Oh! I thought you meant the Saints for a second. I was like, the Saints are not getting anywhere near 20 points. Jesus. Yeah, I like that pick.
All right, so first up, I really like the Giants minus 6 against Indy. I think they look really good. This is probably my one that I'm most confident in.
I mean, hey, they got to cover as a favorite at some point before the year ends, huh?
They got to cover as a favorite. They need. I mean, this is win and get in, right? Is that what it is?
Yep.
So I mean, they have to do it here against this terrible Colts team. I don't like the Colts in this game. Give me the Giants -6. Number 2. Give me. I really like San Fran -10 against Vegas. Like, if you're telling me Brock Purdy versus Jarrett Stidham, you're telling me the coaching. How does San Fran not cover this game? How does Vegas score points? I don't really get it. So San Fran -10. And last but not least, Sal's going to love me. Green Bay -3.5.
Whoa. I knew that was coming. The
line is telling. The line is very telling to me. I know Green Bay is a terrible place to go into. I don't think Minnesota's really used to it. I think we're going to get bad Kirk Cousins. So give me.
Do you know
Green
what you
Bay.
just did to Sal's wallet this weekend?
Yeah,
oh
it's
my God.
gone.
And I'm gonna feel so bad next week. So
I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can bet on Aaron Rodgers again.
Wait, what was last week? Remember last week I said something about a game and you switched and you were like, no, because the last time you said
it
that
was Nolan. It was Green Bay. You were trying to talk me into Miami, and I was on Miami up until the end, and then I was like, no, because the last time you did this, you were wrong. So I switched back to Green Bay, and Green Bay was the right pick.
Okay.
So
Good.
I went against I should switch. So I was on the right side of it, at least for once, which is nice.
Okay,
but I did take Green Bay in that game. So, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
But
good.
yeah,
I
Green
couldn't
Bay,
remember, so I figured you would remember. So
Green Bay -3 is Nolan's last pick.
Yeah, is it 3 or 3.5?
I have 3 right now.
Okay, I love 3 even more, so that's fine.
One bold prediction, gentlemen.
What do you got?
A heart attack.
That's pretty bold. I won't lie.
That is pretty bold, dude.
Fuck.
Mine is Baltimore beats Pittsburgh by more than 2 touchdowns.
That is pretty bold. Mine should be. What is mine gonna be?
Carson Wentz gets pulled after the first quarter.
That's
a really good one.
That's probably gonna happen.
That Joe Flacco wins the game for the Jets, even though I know he's not starting.
I love it.
He's gonna lead a touchdown drive at the end of the game. That's what I think.
I'll stick with Wentz gets pulled. Wentz is gonna get pulled on Sunday.
Nah, I love that. You know I love that.
Joe Flacco is so elderly, it's not even funny. He needs a can when he comes out on the field.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all?
I think that's it.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you for joining us, Sal, over Zoom.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
See you soon.
Hopefully I'm back in the flesh next week.
Yeah, hope your flight doesn't get delayed or canceled again.
Let's hope not.
Good luck.
All right, boys. Catch you.
Later.
And that's that.
And that.